Welcome to Lesson 4. In this lesson, it's all about angles. Let's start with a point. We have a point, says O. We have another point, says A. Start from O, pass A, keep going. And we have another point to join in. This point is B. Start from O, passing B, keep going. Now, we have two rays and they share one endpoint. We get angle. Yes, what you just heard is a definition of what is angle. All right, how do we name this angle? We can say AOB. So angle AOB. We can call angle BOA. Since this angle is standing by itself, I can also say angle O. But if I added another ray here, I say C. Now I cannot call it angle O. I have to use 3 letters to name them. Okay? There's also different ways to see that. I'm going to erase this one. Actually, let's use this one because I'm going to make my point. All right, let's also see this angle's name. I can call angle AOC or angle COA. So it's here angle COB, angle BOC. Now, since I have 2 angles here, I'm going to say this is angle 1, angle 2. So I can say angle 1, angle 2. That's how we name these angles. Now, after we name these angles, we're going to talk about how do we categorize them. If I have an angle that is greater than 0 but less than 90, this is a acute angle. If it's exactly 90, please get used to using this 90-degree symbol. This is exact 90. This is a right angle. If the angle is greater than 90, but less than 180, this is an obtuse angle. I'm going to erase this guy and need the space right here. And if I have an angle that is 180, that is a straight angle. Okay? All right. For all the basics, we're going to stop right here. And in the future, we're going to talk about other angles. Now, let's look at this. Remember earlier lessons you learned postulate. This postulate is called a segment addition postulate, which means you can add these 2 segments and figure out what is the whole length. Same thing happened to our angles. You can add these 2 angle measures, okay? This is 1, this is 2. That's 2. So if you add angle 1 and angle 2, you can get the whole angle measure. Suppose angle 1 is 20 degrees, angle 2 is 25 degrees. I'm going to call this angle. What is angle AOB? Angle AOB, we're going to add this 2. 20 plus 25, that's 45 degrees. You just use a new rule called the angle addition postulate. Wonderful. All right, let's work on this. I'm going to give you a question. Look like this. Suppose this is x. Let's make it a little bit more interesting. This is 2x, and this is 4x. Okay? And this whole angle, we need a name for this angle, so make the solving easier. Call ABC. I'm going to say measure of angle ABC is, let's say, 60 degrees. Actually, it's more than 60. All right, let's put a little, let's like about 70, 75. Let's make your solving easier. I'm going to give it 80. All right. And I'm going to say angle 1 is 2x, angle 2 is 4x. Can you find the value of x? So we'll say 2x, we know when add together become the whole part. Add the parts become the whole. So you can add it together and solve what is x. That is the whole idea. Not hard, right? Very basic and all makes sense. Let's erase this. Now, I'm going to introduce a new concept called angle bisector. And when we learn English, we know what is bisect. Bisect is cut in half. Now, here is the same thing, okay? All right, so suppose I have a 90 degree. Use your 90 degree symbol. And if I have an angle bisector, which means cut in half. Cut in half means this angle and this angle gonna have exactly same angle measure. So what is 90 divided by half? Which means each one is 45 degrees. That's angle bisector. All right, let's do a practice. So suppose I have angle, let's say this angle is 60 degrees. And I have angle bisector. How do we know this is angle bisector? I'm going to use my little symbol. I use the same amount of curves. Same amount of curves tells me angle 1 and angle 2 have the same angle measure. So OC is my bisector. Angle AOB is bisected by ray OC. Angle 1 and angle 2 have the same angle measure. Bisect means cut by half, which means each of them is 30. Very good. I think we truly get this. Now, let's do something a little bit more interesting, okay? I have an angle. I'm going to call this angle DOG. DOG has angle bisector. We're going to call it OH. Oh, all right. So OH is the ray OH is the angle bisector of angle DOG. Let me give you what angle DOH. DOH says I am 3x plus 2. HOG says I am 5x minus 10. Can we find what the value is x? Pause this video, see if you can solve this on your own. All right, now remember earlier we talked about angle bisector, which means these two angles gonna have the same angle measure. All right, therefore we can set it as same angle measure. You two have the same measure. Now I'm going to solve it algebraically by subtract 3x each side and add 10 each side. So these two gone, these two are gone. I have 2x is 12. X is 6. You just find what x is. If the question said continue, I want to know the angle measure of DOG. What do? We can do 2 times 3 times x is what? 6. Okay? Plus 2. That would be the whole angle measure. Why? Because once you find one of them, you just double it. And I use this parenthesis to plug in my x is 6. So let's find out. I don't want to leave things undone. So 3 times 6 is what? 18 plus 2, that's 20. 20 times 2, that's 40. So angle DOG, our cute little angle dog, has angle measure 40 degrees. That's how you use angle addition postulate and angle bisector. Happy learning.